TV. This is the Affair program. My name is Caroline Biden. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the love that you've shown us so far. And sababu ya election, let's keep promoting and spreading peace amongst ourselves. So today, in the show, I am a very important person kwa maisha yako, kwa health yako. So I would request that you kindly can introduce yourself to our viewers.
Hello viewers, good morning. I'm Rose Cairo. I'm the lab officer at Tango Dispensary. Welcome to the show.
So what basically happens in the laboratory?
Okay, in the laboratory we find that this is where most of the diagnosis is done. For example, if the clinician has a question or maybe he has a patient that he wants to rule out whether the patient is sick, maybe he's quelling malaria, he always sends the patient to the lab, and this is whereby we go ahead and diagnose it, find out whether the patient is suffering from malaria or it's something else. Yeah.
And I believe that there are different types of labs. I would request if you can help us tuambia ni hizo types na nini inaendelea kwa kila type ya laboratory.
Okay, you find that the types of lab actually depends with the setup of the facility. Like now in our facility, we have just the small type of lab that is whereby we do just routine tests. Since our lab is a dispensary, since our health center is dispensary, but maybe when we go to other facilities, like now we have the Kerugoya, that is whereby you will find that the lab accommodates so many tests. Yeah, that is where you will find they have partitioned the lab. They have different lab. For example, you can have a place where you do hematology, parasitology, blood transfusion, yeah, all those. But in our setup, we just do routine tests.
Okay, so the laboratory is not divided into this part or this side. We are doing fluid tests from this side, and then the other types of test tunafanyia hii side nyingine. Hakuna vile inakwanga imejua kuna fluids zinafanywa huku, then the other types zinafanywa the other side.
Okay, yes, depending with the type of the lab. That is mostly the hospital. That is why I'm saying like Kerugoya, where the hematology is done, parasitology cannot be done there. And we have in such a setup, we have different personnel. So you will find someone is here doing hematology, someone is here doing something else. Yeah.
So if you may help us understand, what is that to say hematology, parasitology?
Okay, we find that there, like now, maybe you have a patient in ward and this person needs blood. So we are going to do what we call cross match. This is to check whether the compatibility of the blood that we want to give that patient and the blood that's the patient, the blood group of the patient. Because if you have blood group B, doesn't mean definitely you'll be given blood group B. Sometimes you will do a cross match and find that there is incompatibility, and now you cannot give that. So you have to look for another one which is compatible to the patients. Yeah.
Okay. And once you take your sample ya either ni blood ama urine, inaenda wapi kwanza kufanyiwa nini? Iko na process.
Okay, each sample has its own process. Like now, if you pick a urine sample, you'll pick a urine sample, then you centrifuge it to get the deposit. Because most of the urine, especially in our setup, okay, you can have urine to do different tests, but for last year, we just do routine tests. So for urine, for us, if we receive any urine here, it's maybe for pregnancy test or urinalysis. So if it's for urinalysis, after taking the sample, you centrifuge it so that you get the deposit. Yeah.
Okay, and the blood test?
Okay, the blood test, you see, blood is tested so many things. So if it's like blood for sugar, you just take the blood, unaeka kwa strip, that is the blood sugar machine, then you just read the results. But there are other types of tests that you could do through blood.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you may help us understand, what are the safety measures that are taken in the laboratory?
Okay, one measure is that.
I believe si kila mtu anaruhusiwa tu kuingia hapa na kushikashika chenye tu ana.
Okay, in fact hata ukiangalia tu kwa mlango hii ya lab, just before you enter, it's written no authorized person should get inside the lab. Simply because you see we have so many infections here, and nobody will be able to take the precaution measures. Like now, when you are in the lab, you are supposed to have PPEs. PPEs, those are the protective clothes. Like now you can see I have a dust coat. So this is one of the protective equipments. I have gloves here. So every time you are handling any specimen, even if it's specimen from your own child, you should wear protective clothes. That is, for us you wear a dust coat, then you have gloves. Yeah. So those are the most precautions you are supposed to take.
Okay, na unaweza kusaidia kuelewa ukiingia hivi kwa lab, sababu I believe sitapata mtu mmoja. I'll find 2 or 3 people. Au mtu na nani? Ama kila mtu ako na kazi yake hapo kwa lab.
Okay, if you go to okay, like this lab, anytime you come here you just meet myself because this lab has only one personnel. But when you go to our hospital here, Kebembe, you will find maybe 5 personnel. And those personnel, they always divide their duties. There is one in the phlebotomy room, the other one maybe is processing, receiving the patients. Yeah. So where there is more than one personnel, you divide the work. Yeah.
Okay. So what happens in case of a laboratory emergency?
Okay, in case of a laboratory emergency, it will depend with what type. But in my setup mostly, maybe the emergency that we can have here, it's maybe getting a spill. Yeah, that is the most one that is common here, because sometimes you might be carrying, maybe you have a sample and by bad luck it falls and break, so you'll have a spill. So when you have a spill, we usually have a spill kit on how to go about cleaning that. But the first thing is to inform the other personnel so that maybe somebody will not come and step on that spill. Yeah.
Okay. And hapa kando yetu kuna microscope.
Yes.
What kind of tests zinafanywa na hii microscope?
Okay, mostly the microscope, we say we use it to see the small objects that cannot be seen with our naked eyes. So this microscope assists us. Yeah, it's actually for diagnosis. Yeah.
Na mostly ni nini inatumika sasa uone hiyo nini? Ama unaweza hapa urine kweli?
Okay, what you do, if it's a urine, we have the microscope slides. This microscope has the slides. So the slides, that is where you put your sample. If it's maybe blood for malaria, you will put the blood in the slide. There are steps of staining it. You stain it.
Maybe you can show us the slides.
Okay, these are the slides. Like now this one, unaona already iko na sample. So this one, you follow the right procedures for this sample. Then after you have followed all the procedures, then you can place it here and have a look at it. It has different powers, which looks different types of. If it's urine, you don't use the same power with BS. If it's stool, you don't use it with the same power with. So it has different powers, from the lights to the highest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And kuna machine ingine unatumia apart from the microscope?
Okay, I have a centrifuge there. I have a fridge. Yes.
A fridge ni ya kustore
the reagents. They are the reagents that cannot be cannot be kept at room temperature. And also sometimes we put samples here. Maybe you have a sample, you want to process it tomorrow, or maybe samples for using the controls, we store them there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. And if maybe you have a word, you can have a word with our viewers.
Okay, thank you too. Has been a pleasure. I'm happy. I've appreciated. So what maybe I can tell viewers, sign for elections. Let's keep peace, peace, peace for the all Kenyans. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. That has been our time. Thank you so much. That has been our time. My name is Caroline Bine.